Okay, it is time for our piano practice. All right. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. Yeah, it's been an interesting week here in Texas. We had a near miss from a hurricane, so our practice with me videos were delayed because of that. But we are good. We're back here in my music studio and I'm ready to practice piano with you, okay? So, I'm very excited to work on this song here. Adults and teens, we are on page 77 and we're working on a song called Standing in the Need of Prayer, okay? This is a really cool song because it includes almost every single element that we have learned up to this point, okay? It's so interesting. So go ahead and turn to 77, all right? There it is. And we are going to see first if we can just play the song from beginning to end all the way through, okay? I want you to get a feel for how it's supposed to sound, all right? There's lots of things going on in here, so don't be alarmed when it comes to listening to all the things happening at once, okay? We have crescendos, we have diminuendos, we have sharps, we have chords, we have legato, we have da capo al fine, which remember I talked about that being the da capo means going back to the beginning and playing to the fine, okay? A lot of stuff happening, but I believe in you and I know that you can do it. We're going to work through it together today, okay? Let's get some piano practice done. All right, so first things first, let's get into our position. We're going to be in a C position this time, okay? So, luckily, we already know how to find our C position. We've got our right hand thumb on middle C. We have our left hand thumb on G below middle C, okay? 2 notes in between, all right? I'm going to count off, and remember, because it has a da capo, it's going to be a little bit on the long side, so listen carefully, okay? Let's get it done. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. So how did you do? Were you able to follow all the way through? I know probably some of the chords and the eighth notes got a little bit tricky in there, but if you were able to follow all the way through, that is an accomplishment in itself, right? Because the roadmap with that da capo al fine can be a little bit tricky, so I'm proud of you either way. Very good. Okay, now looking here at the song, I feel that the first 2 lines are definitely something that is attainable without a whole lot of focused, dedicated practice and drilling. It's something definitely doable for you, okay? The trickiest part is going to be the rhythm, okay? You have a series of quarter rests sort of scattered throughout these harmonic background sounds in the left hand. And that's going to be your hardest part, okay? Being able to control when you come in is going to be key to getting the song communicated in a way how it's supposed to be written, okay? So another thing that's probably going to give you some trouble on the first two lines is going to be your dynamics, okay? I definitely noticed that my dynamics were a little bit off. I started it too loudly. I didn't really have anywhere to go for my crescendo because I started too loudly. I think the only thing I did fairly well was probably my diminuendo at the end of line 2. Okay, you see it? The last two measures there, okay? So perhaps we work a little bit on dynamics on the first two lines, okay? Let's see if we can start and just play the first top line, okay? I'm going to play it through 3 times, working specifically on my dynamics, which again is how loud or soft you're playing, okay? We notice here it starts mezzo forte, right? Not a forte, which is what I did. Mezzo forte. So that's like a medium loud, okay? And then at the end of the first line, you have a nice crescendo, right? Which means you're going to get gradually louder to a forte, okay? Make sure you have somewhere to go. Don't start too loudly, all right? Let's play that first line, okay? Let's do it. All right, so I'm in C position. I've got my right hand finger 3 on E, ready to go. I'm going to do my count off. Follow along and play along if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Okay, getting louder. There you go. So that's the first line, right? That was way better in terms of my dynamics, okay? I started soft enough so I had somewhere to go, right? It makes a huge difference. Okay, let's play that top line a second time, okay? Let's really work on those dynamics. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. We're getting this, right? Little by little, we're making progress. All right, let's count off again. Final time through on the top line. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. That was much improved, all right? Yeah, those dynamics make all the difference in the song, right? I mean, the song is called Standing in the Need of Prayer, right? And if you look at your lyrics, the part where the crescendo is, that's the part where it's saying, standing in the need of prayer, right? That's the part. So of course that's going to have a little bit more dynamics and drama, right? Because that's the most important part of the whole song. All right, wonderful, wonderful work, okay? Now, I talked about line 2 already because we've got a little bit of changes with the dynamics going from forte and then a diminuendo down to either a mezzo forte or a mezzo piano, okay? All right. That part, I think I'm just going to do the last two measures of line 2, okay? We're going to play it 3 times through, okay? That's just the diminuendo section, okay? So let's go ahead and play through that. Excellent. So we're in C position again. This is starting forte, and then we've got a diminuendo, all right? So let's count off. 1, 2, ready, play. So you saw the introduction of that F chord in there for the left hand. That second to last chord where it has a 1, 2, 5. Make sure you're playing that instead of a G7 chord, okay? All right, let's play this last two measures of line 2 more times. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, ready, play. Very good. All right. I know dynamics can be really tricky, right? You're like, I've got all the notes. But then when you try to like actually control the pressure that you're putting your fingers down on the keyboard, it really makes a huge difference, okay? So be very, very aware of that, all right? Let's start the final time through the last two measures of line 2. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, that was pretty good. All right. Now, with section 1 finished, let's look at the second half of this song, okay? Lots and lots of sharps, right? We've got D sharps. We also have some really, really funky like quarter rests, right, that come at different times. So that's definitely something to be aware of, all right? Sometimes I like to take my pencil and I like to draw a line going from the right hand chord down to the left hand chord to see where they match up, okay? That's very helpful. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll draw lines here. There we go. All right, so let me show you what that looks like. Looking here at line 3. Do you see the lines that I drew down? You have E line down to a 1 chord, E down to a 1 chord, right? All right, so you're more than welcome to do the same thing, okay? Because it will help you line up those left-hand chords to make sure you're playing them at the right time. Yes, that's something that we want to make sure we do, because we don't want to play the chord at the wrong time, because then it would sound a little bit off, okay? All right, let's see how this goes. We're going to do just line 3 by itself, okay? We are in C position, starting on a finger 3 E, but remember these are eighth notes, so they're a little bit quicker than what we're used to playing, okay? I'm going to count off. It sounds a little funny, so listen carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Wasn't that tricky? Yeah. Yeah, that eighth note pattern, sometimes you feel like you're playing too many eighth notes. But I promise you, if you're doing the math right, it'll match up perfectly, okay? It's like 2 sets of 2 per quarter note and quarter rest, okay? If you drew your lines, you'll know that you're doing it correctly, okay? Let's play it a second time. Line 3 with the pickup note to the first full measure, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Excellent job. Yes, it is tricky. I am not going to lie. It is definitely tricky. But I know that you can do this, okay? Just put that extra work, that practice time at the keyboard, working on these little bitty sections, and I promise you, you're going to feel so, so good when you can play it without a mistake. It feels glorious, trust me, okay? And I know you can do it. Okay, final time through on line 3, okay? We're doing that really weird count off, so listen carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. That's the third time through. Nice job. Yes. Oh my goodness. Claps for that. Oh my gosh. Woo! Wiggle out those fingers. You're doing such a good job. All right, now, continuing that same pattern, we have the eighth note pattern with the E and the D sharp, okay? Continuing on the last line as well, okay? Now, the only thing that's going to change is those final two measures at the bottom of the page on line 4. Instead of doing a crescendo and having notes go stepward, we are doing a diminuendo with notes in the right hand doing a skip up a third. All right? That's the difference. All right? Now, I'm going to play the final line with the pickup note at the end of line 3. Do you see that? Where it says, not my. I'm going to start there. That's going to be another funky count off, okay? It's going to be that 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Okay? If you can keep up with that, do your best, okay? Let's do our best. All right. C position. Starting here, we have, starting at the end of line 3, where it says not my. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Start forte, diminuendo, up to F chord, then 1 chord. Very good. Let's play that 2 more times, okay? Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Very good. All right, one more time. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. And then at the end of the song, what do you see there? DC al fine, right? We talked about this at lesson. DC al fine means da capo al fine. Da capo is the Italian way of saying to the top or from the top. I'm sure you hear that in like Broadway music and theater and musical theater and things like that. The conductor always says from the top, right? That's what he means, da capo, right? So da capo al fine, from the top, and play until you see the word fine, right? In this case, our fine is at the end of line 2, okay? Wonderful work, my goodness, we've done an amazing job today. This is why I only gave you one song for this past week, is because it was a big one, right? Now, you've got a couple weeks to work on this one, okay? Because fall session doesn't start until I think it's September 19th, okay? So if you want to join me on September 19th live on Facebook, you're more than welcome to do so. I'd love to have you. I like to give little breaks in between our sessions so that way those students who have found me a little bit later can play catch up, right? And those, if you've fallen behind on your practice, you can play catch up again, okay? I'm here for you, okay? The lessons will be here regardless of if you join me live or not, okay? Thank you so much for joining me for practice. I will see you guys in the private group, and I'll see you in a couple weeks, all right? Take care.